back your homes, or restore your dead to life.
But perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our king.
Brynden Rivers is a prominent character in both A Song of Ice and Fire and the Tales of Dunk and Egg. His life story is one of great adventure, and when it comes to versatile characters who can adapt to many different roles, Brynden is a prime example. Let me explain. If you have not opened the books, then you may be unsure just who Brynden Rivers is, but that's okay because you know him, just by a different name. Let me explain. Let's take the time period we started out at when Game of Thrones started with Season 1. Now let's go back about 120 years. This is around the time Brynden Rivers was born, in 175 AC. AC just means after the conquest of Aegon Targaryen. Anyway, Brynden was born in King's Landing as a bastard of the Targaryen king Aegon IV. He had a birthmark on his face that faintly looked like a raven, so he was nicknamed Blood Raven. King Aegon had many mistresses and quite a few bastards. Brynden grew up having differences with his brothers and sisters, and by the time his king father was on his deathbed, Brynden was legitimized along with the other great bastards of Aegon IV. Shortly after the king's death, there was a civil war between Daemon Blackfyre and the new king Daemon Targaryen II. Brynden, having already been on the king's small council, decided to support the Targaryen side of the war. He was a great warrior, so great that he bore the ancient Valyrian steel sword Dark Sister. Dark Sister is one of only two ancestral Targaryen family swords. He carried the blade and is the last person known to wield it. However, he favored using a weirwood bow, as he was a master archer. During the civil war known as the Blackfyre Rebellion, Brynden quickly ended Daemon Blackfyre's life, with an order to his archers to rain arrows down on the battlefield during the famous Battle of Redgrass Field. The action killed Daemon and his twin sons, thus halting the fight to overthrow the Targaryen reign. Lord Bloodraven would become known as a kinslayer for this battle, and he even lost an eye fighting against his half-brother, famously known as Bittersteel. After the battle, Brynden continued to serve the Iron Throne and his king brother Daemon, until Daemon died due to the Great Spring Sickness, a plague that claimed tens of thousands of lives. Bloodraven made it out alive though, serving the new king Aerys I. He was selected as the Hand of the King, where he would basically rule the Seven Kingdoms on his own for 12 years, since Aerys didn't have much of a craving to rule. Fast forward to 211 AC. Rivers came upon knowledge that Daemon Blackfyre II, a son of Daemon I, was trying to make a play for the Iron Throne, like his late father had once tried. Daemon knew of a tourney taking place that offered a dragon egg as the award for the champion of the event. Daemon disguised himself and made it to the tourney, only to find out that the egg was switched with a stone painted to look like a real dragon egg, and he also became aware that Bloodraven was marching on the castle to catch him. Daemon attempted to rally the knights and the attendees in support of the Blackfyre claim, though no one joined his side. So when Brynden Rivers arrived with a huge army behind him, Daemon demanded single combat with Brynden. Lord Bloodraven refused and took him prisoner immediately, thus ending another uprising from House Blackfyre. Remember Brynden's half-brother Bittersteel and how they hated one another? Well, Bittersteel tried crowning another one of Daemon I's sons, and this led to another battle between the Targaryen Alliance and the remaining Blackfyre Alliance. It ended with another fight between Bloodraven and Bittersteel, this time leading to Bittersteel's arrest. Continuing his service as Hand of the King, Brynden Rivers continued as the second in command once Aerys I died, and his successor also died. By this point it was 233 AC, and Brynden had to call a great council in King's Landing to discuss who was to be king. This is where it gets interesting. There was no definitive successor to crown as king, so Bloodraven promised safe travel and no ill will to Aenys Blackfyre, who had his own claim to the throne. Once Aenys made it to King's Landing, he was snatched and dragged to the Red Keep, where he was executed as a warning from Bloodraven to not attempt any more Blackfyre uprisings. Once the new king was finally chosen, Aegon V, Bloodraven was imprisoned for his act of betraying the crown's promise. Aegon V gave Brynden the option to take the black instead of losing his head, so Brynden decided to go to the Wall to serve out his life. He was part of 200 recruits sent to the Wall, in the same group that was escorting Maester Aemon there. Within 6 years at the Wall, Brynden Rivers was promoted to Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. This lasted until 252 AC, when he disappeared ranging beyond the Wall. As it goes in the history books of Westeros, Brynden Rivers was presumed dead, but the truth was that he had plenty of life to live. Brynden also goes by another name, the Three-Eyed Crow, or the Three-Eyed Raven in the show. He is the last Greenseer, at least until Bran Stark starts gaining his powers. It turns out that the man in the cave is not entirely who we thought we knew. Bloodraven has a long history, one that puts him as one of the most decorated men in Westeros. Having been a knight, a general, part of the Small Council, the Hand of the King, pretty much the ruler of the Seven Kingdoms, a prisoner exiled to the Wall, the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, and the Three-Eyed Raven. That's pretty insane if you ask me. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed this history video. Let me know if you'd like more of these in the future. As always, have a great day, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.